everyone, and welcome to the map Site Delta. Joining me here, today's highlight viewer-submitted matches of StarCraft 2. The blue Terran player, the upper left corner with plenty of SCVs going out and about. It is Patak. And their unwitting opponent and or victim building an engineering bay first. It is Skiemk. Is three racks TVT? Really? One racks? They don't have enough money. They didn't think this one through all the way, did they? 2 racks. And the engineering bay, really? Like, planetary? Three racks? Okay. Very well then. This is shaping up to be something, at least. Definitely choices being made across the board. So we've got a 3 racks, presumably Marine play, because their gas is very lacking at this point. The gas is lagging a bit behind. It's going to be 3 racks Marine, probably a bunker if I had to guess, versus what is shaping up to be a planetary rush. But they don't have a planetary in their main base. They could. Wouldn't that be the big brain move here? The first barracks for red starts on the other side of the map as blue's 3 are ready to go here. This is exactly why this game was sent in. Okay then. Starting it off early today. Few depots ready to hold the ramp, but Terrans don't really have to care about the ramp. Not even their buildings have to care about that ramp. Planetary, the command center. Oh yeah, it just floated right on in there. Okay, the Marine count is rising for blue. Not quite at the point yet that they're ready to make a move, but once they're ready to make a move, it's looking like it's going to be fine for them. There's no planetary in the main here. Everything's okay. Red's still getting gas. They've got enough for 1 planetary, but not enough for both, it would seem. Oh, the planetary starts in the main base. Will it be completed quick enough, though? These SCVs, get them out. Send them to attack. Do something. What are you doing? They're just letting them... They said quick to the refinery. The planetary on the other side, not even started. Look at this. Well, hello there. SCVs. He doesn't have enough gas. What? Red doesn't have enough gas for the second planetary. There's only 130. You need 150. Oh my gosh. The SCVs all left the main base. The main base will be fine, of course. Planetary beats Marines for sure, but this is so awkward now. I don't think you make the planetary at this point. The SCVs all killed off. What? Where are the SCVs at this point? There's 1 building and the engineering bay died. He can't even make it. The planetary rush is thwarted. In shambles, in flames, it would seem. It wound up being just a planetary defense rush. They get the planetary for their main base. Gas, of course, production, their income, gas income can resume. They do have enough to make a planetary now. Are you chasing him? What? No, okay, just gonna land at the natural. This game. What? The Marines will clean up the SCVs of blue. There's a few that have decided to take their vacation a little early this year, it would seem, and move up to the top right bingo base. The triple Rex still producing a healthy amount of Marines despite the severe lack of income for blue. They're quite okay with continuing. They got another command center set up though, so both of them have 2 command centers. And their main bases are looking a little thin, it would seem. The Planetary at the main of red will still be okay. The Marines actually heading back for blue now. But they finally did make this into a Planetary. The gun's slowly drawing up. Oh yeah. Just in time. So the Marines gather outside that front lawn. Things, I don't know. Who's really doing better at this point? I'm liking Red's position more just because they have both bases set up and ready to go. Marines will test the might of the Planetary fortress. They're trying to run past it. It's a slaughter though. Good grief, Planetary versus pure Marine. That was very one-sided. The SCVs, they're just chilling over here. This is not going to help blue one bit. Not at all. That idle worker button gathering a bit of dust because it's not being pressed. Nothing's happening with that. They decided to just make new workers. These ones, they're traumatized, truth be told. They were hard at work, working their job, living their life, and out came these red Marines and a command center from the sky. Traumatized, in need of therapy, so they're on a bit of a hiatus, it would feel. Now, these other ones, though, they're equally about to be traumatized, although these ones aren't really going to make it to the therapy session this week, I think. Not looking too great. Their schedule's a little, taken care of. Oh, command center now, in a bit of peril. Blue. Like, what's the goal here? You got a factory, at least, so that is something. The Blues Marines will come to the defense, and I think they should be fine just because it was a bit of a numbers game. 5 versus 3 and then 4 versus 2. Quick. Chase them down. Oh, that turn actually really hurt Red. Why you lift now? What? Where are you going? I have no idea. Oh, it's going here. Yes. Because we just made this area safe with the Marines, so obviously we must evacuate now. Red does find the rest of their Blue's buildings. Blue is making a siege tank, which is probably the best decision that we could have hoped for from anybody at this point. Making a siege tank. Thank you for not just jumping straight to battlecruiser, I suppose. That would not have been off the table, off the cards, in my opinion. What are we looking at here? Yeah. Third base coming up for Red. I'm still liking Red's position a bit more. They've got more active bases, less idle workers, production kicking into gear. The only thing they're really down on is the tech, because Siege Tank does beat Planetary as long as nothing else intervenes. The Command Center finally makes its journey away from the bingo base over to the opponent's original third location. And if you're like, wow, that's quite a statement, I think that's a very normal statement for a Metal League TVT, we can call it. Now, nothing seems really that out of place here. Now, why would you go attack over here when you know they've got a base over here? Like, why wouldn't you just take this corner? Because this was originally my corner, Indigos. This was originally the Blue Terran's corner, so it's not about a efficient, correct use of resources. This is more of a personal vendetta. We must clean out the rabble and the filth that has taken over our homeland. One siege tank is going to trump the pathetic group of Marines here. It's certainly working pretty well. The issue is behind this we're doing absolutely nothing. We're just building up that bank. because it's taking a lot of focus and control to really manage the one siege tank here. Well, they definitely will get up that ramp. The bunker will be destroyed. Bunker salvage? Oh yeah, it'll work. Okay. Bunker salvage is fine. Siege tank making the classic mistake of focusing the planetary instead of the marines here. It's getting a bit low too. The SCVs are pulled, go right after the tank. They can't get the full surround, but I think it's still going to be good enough. The tank is dealt with. And with that, these marines no longer have any hope of beating the planetary. There's a widow mine. It's a widow mine here. The engineering bay was completed in the middle of the map. Can't float that. You know, they added too much weight to the engineering bay between the Brood War and StarCraft 2, because now the engineering bay can no longer float and fly around. So it is stuck here until Blue decides otherwise. But I'm not sure Blue is really focusing on that piece of intel very much. They're struggling. The money's a struggle. We're getting the gas up. Can't even make another siege tank. Things are just really not looking good, and I'm going to have to go with it's the workers' fault, because they took their vacation, they took their time, and they just haven't reported back. At this point, it's a no-call, no-show, and we're looking at disciplinary action. Things are not looking great, to summarize. Okay. Another command center's on the way for Red, who's at long last taking their own natural. Yes, the good old 11-minute, 30-second 4th base natural. Yeah. Very normal play. Very understandable statements today. Loving it, though. The command center will just leave that damaged, leave that a bit scratched up, too. What's the win condition here? Red is working on it. Okay, they've got a siege tank coming out. Few marines here. Everything's coming together at long last. We're getting all the cards. We're getting all the pieces. They still think. They still maybe thought that the Blue had this base. Blue, of course, the massive brain move there. I was attacked at this base, so I must evacuate. I must leave it. The army forces are really not looking great here for Blue. The Widow Mine, siege tank, setup shot, gets the Marines. Widow Mine will connect, a beautiful connection to the siege tank, quickly eliminated, and I think that is going to be all they wrote. It's down to 1 Marine, 1 Mule, and a handful of SCVs here. Things not looking fabulous. Get it, the 1 Marine. Boys will be pulled. Even the Mule coming in for a little combat action will not save the day, though. The Red Terran original goal idea of planetary rushing was thwarted and fouled at every possible corner by the Blue, but eventually they do come through. They do pull the win out from under them. That was a highlight. I'm gonna have to remember this one. Thank you very much for that submission. That's not all for today, though. Onwards now to the next match. For the second match of the day, we find ourselves on the map Oceanborn here. We'll start things off on the other side, though. The Blue Zerg, the bottom right corner. Drones belonging to Long. And the Red Terran opponent here, the upper left corner, it is none other than FSKLJFS. Excuse me. I don't know. Good luck with that one. That was a keyboard mash right there. We've got mashed potatoes of keys there. I'm not even sure. There's no vowels. Okay, what am I supposed to do with that? It's the worst game of Boggle I've ever seen. Come on, try to put that one together in Scrabble, will ya? Alright, we're going with Red Terran and very likely Blue Zerg, because you both took creativity to heart with this one, it would seem. TVZ, though. At least it's not another TVT, and nobody's built an engineering bay yet. thank gosh. At this point, though, things, I'll say, looking relatively fine, relatively normal. I saw the length of time on the replay, and I will say I reserve the right to speed this up. Whichever one of you submitted this. This was quite a match, huh? SCV does make it across the other side of the map. We'll start to scout around, see that naturally finish up. Wonderful timing, of course. Reaper on the way. Pool's finishing up for the Zerg. No queens yet, though. No queens, huh? What do we? Oh, we're getting one. Okay, we're getting there. We're waking up. Still waking up. It's early. I haven't had my morning stim pack. Yeah, of course. Excellent. Natural command center coming along nicely too. Reaper will head across. It feels very similar to most pro TVZs here. Everything's looking fine. What are we? A fair bit higher? A little bit higher than the last round. Okay. Could easily be so far. I'd say plat, even low diamond. It absolutely could be. The complete lack of care on the drone, though, I'm impressed. This might be masters. You know, people really not caring. Could also be bronze, though. To be fair, they don't care for very different reasons. Reaper is gonna just sit there. Did get the one drone kill, right? It was one drone. Yeah, just one drone though. Queen will fend them off. Command center is gonna complete. Factory on the way. Little far to be doing the factory barrack switcheroo, but give it time. They still might come up with it. That's a very early Roach Warren. And lair. Timing lair at the natural, too. Intriguing choices. Okay. The viewer details starting to show themselves. Deviations. Reaper just chilling for now. Once we see what's going on with this Roach Warren. Oh boy. That factory. That was almost a scouting factory. Reminds me of Brood War Terran. You make the scouting barracks because you decide to go mech. You don't need that anymore. But this time, scouting factory. Stim pack's gonna start up on the one barrack so that our 2 Marines we have in the bunker will be able to stim. Fantastic. Hellions on the way. Medevac production kicking in. The Roach Warren, thus far, decorative, actually. Choices. Thus far, a decorative Roach Warren. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. We'll start at just the ×2, of course. Nothing too crazy, but we're going to be here for a little bit, guys. Depot lowered. Hellions continue to rise in their numbers. The Marine's actually going to join, too. Really? Okay. A little bit of action here. We already get to take a pause to this. Roaches starting to be made for the defense. There's 5, about to be 8 in total. Couple queens. You only have 2 queens. What is this? Build more queens. As the Hellions and Reaper stare angrily at the Overlord. This is why we brought the Marines, huh? They don't yet have stim, unfortunately. They're working on it, though. Stim will complete very shortly. Marines will be able to take quite a bit of damage on their own health pool in favor of slightly better damage and speed at this point. Evo chamber about to finish up. Red, they're forgetting. They sent the units out. Oh, they're here, woken up. All right, we're fine. Had to start combat shields, of course. Roaches here and ready for the defense. It's almost like they knew you were coming when you hit their Overlord. A quick retreat back to the base. They built any amount of units. Like, you know, but you could send the Hellions to the natural while the Marines drop into the... No, quick retreat back. Back, my friends. Raise the depot wall. The siege tank will save the day. And it will. The siege tank will save the day. Roaches will... I guess just occupy over here. Did we get burrow? No burrow? For shame. How could you not get burrow this early? Burrow a roach right where that command center goes. Or at least burrow them to let them regen their health a little bit. We've got a Hydra Den and a second layer. Why not a third? Why do people stop at a second layer? I don't understand. The choice. Oh, scan of the main base. Quick return scan. Wait, you can't do that. That's a TVT thing. Zerg not yet evolved the ability for map hacks like Terrans. Roaches, they're still just chilling. Red moving outside their base, outside the depot wall here. Command center gonna be slapped down. No, they actually haven't found the roaches yet. Well, hello there, roaches. Command center will land. Roaches will immediately start to target it down. Siege tank helping out, provide a little bit of defense. Roaches, oh god. They're picking off some of the Marines. They get a heli into for their troubles, but will summarily be executed. Third base for the Terran will come down. No problems, no major issues. Not really a lot going on between the two of you. Everything's still kind of just macro mode. Finally, actually getting burrow. That was not my intention to cause the burrow upgrade. Maybe they realized it. They were like, they tried to burrow their roaches to let them heal or block something, but didn't actually work out. Oh, army group moving around here, moving out onto the map. 2-2's on the way, almost halfway done for the Zerg. The composition seems to be a rather tried and true Roach Hydra. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done, I suppose. Roaches and Hydras making their way up the ramp. The siege tanks spread out just perfectly enough to not really help each other. But there's quite a few. If there's one thing that can do here, they make siege tanks and lose their workers, the mules, in peril. Focus the command center at this point. Thank you. Okay, they got the command center. The mules having a bit of a struggle, and the siege tanks will eventually clean everything up. Liberator. Freedom reigns supreme. The siege tank count, I'm actually quite impressed with. You have 7 siege tanks off of just one factory this whole time. The siege tank production. I actually gotta hand it to Mr. here, because that's pretty solid for just one factory production. They've been really keeping it going. The amount of barracks, of course, we've been a little lacking on the Marines, I think, but making up for it with the siege tanks, I can't be mad at that move. Losing the command center hurts, of course. Resources lost. Well, the Terran is still doing fine. Zerg really throwing away their army, but kind of what else are you going to do when you're already that far behind enemy lines? And they're both continuing to macro up. The Terran, I think, feeling comfortable in not really moving out very much. Oh, really? At least repair the tank. Come on, that is killing me. OCD is really kicking in with this one. I see the damaged health bar, and it is not working out well. The Liberator's going to go set up shop over by the 4th base, protect some of that command center from being surrounded by Zerglings. Hive on the way. Rest of the production, little lacking. The Lurker Den did complete, right? Yeah, so the Zerg could get Lurkers here. That would be if they wanted to play defensively, though, Indigos. Command center, not even canceled, will be killed off. The stem, oh, you're not getting away from me. And Bio deals with Roach Hydra pretty well, actually. There's just no splash damage, not really a whole lot there. Durability, going to be in favor of the Terran, it feels. Medevacs. Holy siege tank army. 13 tanks. Dude, I love it. This is a startling number of siege tanks here for a Viperless Zerg. This is terrifying. Lurkers have been made, though. They will be able to hold the ground, at least up against the Bio, but with this many siege tanks, I mean, just a couple of scans will wipe off the Lurker defense. Pretty sure Terran just killed their own medevac after stimming. Now, Lurker's gonna have to back it up now. I'm a bit nervous for the Zerg at this point. A little bit nervous. What's the army looking like? Standing forces? It's really just these lurkers. High-sec auto-tracking on the way because we got 3-1. Absolutely fantastic. The vehicle upgrades too. +2 vehicle attack. You know, I don't know, this Red Terran. They're not making, you know, every decision perfect, but they're making some of them that are impressing me. The focus on the siege tanks, the vehicle upgrades, they're adding in more bioforces too, so going for a little bit of a balanced composition. You really got to cut the medevacs at this point though. 7 medevacs, that's pushing it. Your health insurance is starting to take too much of a precedent. Scan. Scan. And it, just like that, it falls. Do you not have any energy? My word, that scan hurt. Okay, so just like that, the siege tank count reset to a defensive 4. They may not have actually had energy, because only one command center has enough for a scan right now. They did just use 2 scans, but it's close. Oof. I think that was their last scan for a few seconds here. They need to be a little bit careful. Going after that outlying base, I like the choice. Okay. Get a few of the drones. Zerg responding with the defense here. Focus that tank down. I did get the siege tank at least. The rest of the bioforce is really pushing strong though. 3-3 is about to complete for the Zerg ranged forces, which will really help out, I think. They need Vipers too though. That's unclear. Lurkers are great. Lurkers, they might be enough, but it's still a gamble. I think you need to add in something else too. Oh. Zerg. You still only have 2 queens. The amount of larvae, this is hurting you too, Mr. Zerg. Okay. You've got 3 hatches, sure, but I don't even know where the queens are. Where are the queens? We'll look after this, I suppose. Lurkers shifting around for the defense. And thank gosh this Terran doesn't know how to build a Raven. Alright. Okay, where are the queens? They're all the way over here. They're creep queens, and at full energy too. The complete lack of injects this game. What? Long distance mining at this command center, and that will not be working out very well for much longer. Terran forces do clean up another hatchery on the far left. They're both taking some decent chunks out of each other. Hydras versus siege tank. Sea Indigos. Hydras are great versus siege tanks. Yeah, I know. The workers slaughter. Oh god. Oh, more siege tanks coming for the defense. 3 in total, that should be enough. Should be able to help out. Oh god, the lurker range upgrade completed. Sending in the bioforces without the siege tank support, I'm not sure that's still going to be enough. It's a lot of marauders to be fair, but it's still not going to be enough. Lurkers are great. Ugh. Zerg somehow slipped a few drones past this Terran blockade, the queens. So you just made more creep tumors, I know, because the energy is regenerating. They were full energy before, which means you know these queens are up here. Which means you're purposely not injecting. Okay. Fantastic. The true Zerg Chad move. In honor of the Great Brood War, I refuse to use larva injects. I will simply make more hatcheries. 3 hatches per base. Alright. Excellent. Terran's still setting up shop here in the middle of the map. Getting a couple creep tumors, perhaps, there. No, we're leaving the tanks. Why? Oh, because it was just temporary. I was just going to deal with that overlord, and then I'm coming right back. Could be pushing forward. How are you doing on your scans? Gosh, yeah, that's a struggle. They keep dropping mules. Just make a raven. At what point do you just make a raven? Apparently that point is not quite yet, Indigos. Terran forces being recalled this orbital command. This one is sitting at full energy and will be destroyed. The Hydra hit squad here. Actually working fairly well. I'm not convinced that these players are not actually just StarCraft 1 or Brood War players in disguise. Well, the Terran forces do eventually make their way back here. The burrow. There's a missile turret, my friend. Oh, a couple of them just outside of range, though. Okay. The burrow coming in handy. The Zerg player perhaps seems to be realizing that there's a bit of a struggle for the Terran on the energy level. Because that's why I believe the Terran hasn't pushed forward, just because they can't clean up the lurkers. Or at least they haven't cleaned up the lurkers. Siege tank. If you're gonna clean this up, you gotta do it one of two ways. You either gotta distract him, have him pull some of those bioforces away. Oh, the first scan means we just shuffle around. There you go. Oh, gosh. Oh, a Hydra bit the dust there. Spreading the forces around. A little bit of Roach Hydra moving along here. Orbital command. Scan goes out once again. Not in range, though. God, it's such a struggle to get anything done on this offensive. Another scan. Oh, now, so we're using scans pretty well to clean up creep tumors, but nothing else, really. Okay. Well, another group here. This is like tower defense wave number 4. You fight 23 roaches and 15 hydralisks. Tunneling claws completed, which means the roaches will be able to sneak a bit around here. Missile turret count only at 1, which I feel like is an accolade. That is a medal to be awarded, that this Terran only has 1 missile turret. It's pretty fantastic. Roaches go for the Ghost Academy, which thus far has also been a decorative structure, but they know, Clem makes a Ghost Academy. They squeeze out just a few ghosts before the Ghost Academy is torched, so there will be 3 in total. Bit of a bottleneck over on the far left side there, that factory causing quite a bit of trouble. Or is it the Marauder after Thanksgiving causing a fair bit of trouble? Orbital command lifted, roaches escape the scan once again. Oh god, the lack of Raven is starting to hurt me at this point. Ouch. It doesn't matter if you come from all sides if you come in here piecemeal. Oh, we figure it out? Spread them out a little bit. Ah, the friendly fire. Fantastic. Spreading the roaches out, a little bit of friendly fire. Use the siege tank's power against themselves. The one will survive, though. Okay, it's fine. The 3 ghosts actually do make it out of their barracks, plus 3 armor finally on the way for the Terran. And we still have a bit of a game here. We still have a bit of a match. I will say we are past the 50% mark of the time on the game. This is quite a good one. Roaches moving around here. 1 burrowed. Not quite ready. Oh, there he goes. Alright. Mr. Long here did realize. SCVs are quite committed, quite focused to their work. The army is going to get here. It will absolutely shred this Zerg rabble. Well, they will eventually be all cleaned up. SCV losses, definitely not lost. 66 SCVs lost. Oh, the pain. And this one, you can't even land the orbital here because of the creep. Terran, beset on all sides by strife and struggle. How's their energy count doing? Do they have enough to actually fight the lurkers? Where did the lurkers go? There's 5 up here. Oh, there's 3 on the offensive. Okay, there's the 8 total. Lurkers left home, though. They left to the defense, so the Terran will be able to move in with no real contest here. Which means do we now have a little bit of a base race on our hands? It's 3 Lurkers and 6 Roaches up against a rather large Terran army. This is 145 army supply for the Terran of 3/3 bio and tank. That's a lot. Lurker Den gone. Roach Warren destroyed. Hive evaporated before the might of the damage per second that is Terran bio. Good grief. They just annihilate the main base. Now Zerg, of course, they do have their setup over here. They're going to have to rebuild all those crucial tech buildings, so they're left with just a spire. They have 4 hatches and a spire. Another hatch is on the way over here on the far left. What does Terran know about, though? They don't actually really know about anything. As far as the major bases are concerned, there's the extractor over here. They see the creep, though, and they could see the mining. They've got to be a little nervous. Like, you know there's lurkers somewhere. Lurkers are out on the map, right? Command center. Like, you just were here, right? Lurkers just were attacking the base. The drones burrow, saving the drones. Thank you. Fantastic work. Unburrow one and remake the hatchery. A couple hydralisks are going to join the lurkers. The roaches get killed off. It looks like the roaches did get killed off. Command center will be destroyed. Was that the last one? That was the last command center. And Red does not have enough money to make any more. Where are the SCVs? There's 2 SCVs in the natural, but they can't actually make any more. They have not rebuilt their base, and they are being revealed. There's no scans. There's no detection. There's no more hope for Ravens. The lurkers have got this as long as they don't get caught unburrowed. EMP doesn't work on lurkers, my friend. Sadly not. That's Protoss. Boy, that'd be wild if that did work that way, though. If EMP revealed burrowed units, not just cloaked units. Oof. Seriously, though, this is a problem. There's no detection. There's no way for the Terran to actually kill the burrowed lurkers. So now you have to avoid the lurkers or catch them unburrowed. Or do some fancy, like, friendly fire, maybe. You set up the siege tanks and have them target Marines as you run in, but that's a mess. That's a struggle. I'm not sure I'd want to go about that myself. No, they're going to start to just move around the map here. They're still looking for bases. They did see the blue over here. They didn't actually kill it off. The drone's still burrowed. Mutas making an appearance here. That would be because the spire was the only tech for a little bit. Lurkers standing by for the defense. Does Red know about this, though? They don't. Actually, not yet. And they can't even clean up the lurkers that are in their own base. Oh, there is the missile turret. That's true. We have 1 missile turret. The SCVs, are they still here? Now, they made it out. The SCVs did make it out, but there's nowhere for them to actually take any money to. Oh, this is such a disaster. EMP goes out. Another EMP goes out up against the lurkers. The Terran knows that they don't have a real answer. It's a struggle. Mutas, making their way into the main base, can start to pick off some of these buildings. The mutas are a key point, too, because now the Terran cannot float anything. We could have wound up with a draw, in a sense, of lurkers shutting down the Terran, but a floating building shuts down the Zerg, but it's not looking like we're actually going to get to that point because of the mutas. As long as nothing happens to the mutas, right? Wow, the Sim City here. Oh man, that's rough. Why are you taking that fight? What? You just threw away all of the mutas. Oh, the drones, get out your claws. Get out your pinchers. Yes, the Marines have 3-3, but we have confidence. and confidence can only get you so far. That's not going to work out. Boy, 3-3 Marines are pretty good up against drones. Oh, getting into a good spot, too, behind the mineral line here. Red, I think they're starting to realize they might be doomed. They haven't actually found this base yet, though. Where some fail, more shall prevail, though. You getting them out? Suddenly, 41 drones. What happened to the SCVs? The SCVs died. Oh, no. Okay. So the SCVs got killed off, which means Red really has no hope now. Can't even repair. EMP doesn't work on lurkers, buddy. It's true. They must have tried to do another EMP against the lurkers. Did not know. Well, then we're sharing knowledge. We're educating around. Thank you to both of you for still being professional gentlemen in this engagement. This rather lengthy, chaotic match, I will say. Get those mutas out. Get those mutas out. Ugh. Quit taking fights with the mutas. I hereby revoke your muta card. You are no longer allowed to make mutas, Mr. Long. You have proven inability to keep them alive. I hereby revoke it. Your lurkers, though, your lurkers are doing great, I will say. Lurkers are a strong decision. They get the missile turret, too. That was the only hope of any detection. It will not work. Corruptors now hit in the field. A far better choice than mutas. Thank you for it. Corruptors will start to deal with the floating buildings. So siege tank in the main base might be able to help out. The rest of the army still moving around, cleaning up some forces here. Could be going for the extractor. Does find this hatchery, though. These drones are still burrowed. These drones have been burrowed for longer than most people's entire games. Lurkers start to move their way up the ramp here. They'll burrow once again. Start to pick off some of the buildings here. The Corruptors dealing with the air structures. And things... Oh, where are we going? Where are we going with that medevac, huh? I don't think you actually know. Oh, a couple Marines do find that extractor. Hatchery, once again. So you know about the drones over here. You keep making a hatchery. No, not the lurkers. Wait, they're on hold fire. Oh, the sneak attack lurkers. The spine crawlers taking the hits, and with that, it will end. Hold fire lurkers coming into play. We'll eventually clean it up. The Terran here a bit doomed from a certain point in the match here. They had no command centers, no orbitals, no ravens for detection, no real hope at actually fighting off the lurkers. The match will end with a really quite beautiful ending, I suppose. Fantastic to watch. Thank you, of course, to everyone for the submissions today. Absolutely fantastic round of viewer games. As always, if you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.